Right, buddy, welcome back. Now, in this video, we'll be talking about Tchouameni to Manchester United. He's someone's name that has been mentioned a lot in the media surrounding Manchester United at the moment. Now, in this video, we'll have a conversation about him. We'll talk about why Manchester United will sign him and really is he the perfect fit for Manchester United. Now, firstly, don't forget to leave a like and comment. And what I want to start off by talking about is the news. Now, the news is suggesting that obviously Manchester United have their priorities in terms of the midfielders that they want to go to. The Mateus Fernandes deal is seeming very difficult at the moment, and there has potentially been some stumbling blocks in that deal. Now, that's where sort of Tchouameni comes into the equation, really. So, Tchouameni also plays at Madrid. He's someone's name that has been toted around at Manchester United. I feel like he is an option that United have definitely considered. So, let's get into some sort of reasons why Manchester United would sign Tchouameni. Firstly, he's sort of the complete number six, as in like he's not someone who's going to be going forward and scoring goals and be in the box like what Casemiro did. He's going to be someone who's just going to shield and marshal the back four and ultimately act as the base number six, and he's the complete number six in what you're looking for. There's not sort of an Edison who may be profiled as a six or and an eight, or sort of a Mateus Fernandes who's also profiled as a six and an eight. Tchouameni is a clear number six, and I feel like that's something that Manchester United need. I feel like someone who can just sit in front of the back line, make the simple passes, score a few long shots when needed. But yeah, it's all about really shielding that back line and allowing your 8 and your 10, whether that is Edison, whether that's Menu, whether that's Mateus Fernandes, and probably Bruno Fernandes, do their thing in that midfield. And that's ultimately what it's about. And I think that's something that Tchouameni does to a very, very high standard. Every time I watch him at Madrid, he's someone who's very good at breaking up play, intercepting play as well. Another good thing about him is his passing. I feel like he's someone who can pass the ball to a high standard, long passing, short passing. He's got everything, passes through the lines, passes over the top. I feel like that's what we need, someone who's good on the ball. Casemiro was excellent at it, he had very good sort of short passes, he had no-look passes, long passes, that's ultimately what you need. You look at someone like Rodri, who has been regarded as one of the best number six in the world over the past few years. The way in which he can distribute the ball, he's always got that clip pass over to the right back, or the short passes, and he's so hard to get the ball off. And I'm not saying Tchouameni is as good as Rodri, but having that elite passing ability is something that Manchester United have needed in midfield. And again, it would just complement Manu so well and allow us to sort of move the ball quickly and progress it through the lines. Another reason why, elite in the air. Standing at 6'1", he's someone who obviously is going to be good in the air and does. I think he's in the top 90th percent of aerial duels won, which is something which is really quite impressive for a player of his stature. That's a good thing for Manchester United because again, aerially we need someone who's going to be key. I think we are going to miss Casemiro's aerial presence, not even just defensively but also offensively with all the goals that he scored. So that's going to be something that United definitely need to add. And I think that's definitely something we'll be looking to add with Casemiro, with someone that we bring in, potentially Tchouameni. Now, another reason why, he's obviously got big European experience. He's played in multiple World Cups and international tournaments, and he's also he's played in multiple international tournaments, and he's played for Real Madrid. There's no sort of bigger club in world football than Real Madrid, and Tchouameni has done a very good job playing for them. Obviously, he's had some up and downs in there, but in large part, winning the Champions League, winning the La Liga, his time there has been really quite impressive, and I think that experience will help him sort of settle into that Manchester United team. So yeah, there are a few reasons why. I feel like he would be a perfect partner for Kobbie Mainoo. I feel like they would complement each other relatively well. They're two relatively good footballers, and they have sort of characteristics that would make them a very good pairing. And I feel like he's someone who is definitely open to the move. Does have a few years left on his deal, but I do think he's someone that would just give United's midfield a different sort of dimension. I feel like we need someone who's going to be all-action midfielder, but can also just sit in front of the back line and just marshal and move side to side, and that's something that Tchouameni can do now. Listen, there's always a big worry when you sign players, and the main one from Tchouameni is the fact that he's not Premier League proven. I feel like that's something that is a concern of mine. We've seen it many times before, signing players from the French League, Italian League, any other league really. It is difficult to adapt to the Premier League, and you can be a very good player in your respective country, but the Premier League is a different kettle of fish. I'm not going to say that Tchouameni will struggle to do that, but that is a big concern that I have. When you're going to spend 50-60 million pounds on a player that hasn't played in the league before, it's something that's very difficult. And we've seen United do it in the past. Ugarte was 50 million coming in from PSG, just didn't adapt. Højlund, Anthony, Sancho, these are players who have all massively struggled to adapt in the Premier League. It is a very physical and demanding league, But I think Tchouameni does have the characteristics to do that. I feel sometimes when you do watch Tchouameni, his passing is a bit sort of pragmatic in terms of he'll always play the simple pass. I feel like sometimes he needs that confidence to go and play that forward pass. Obviously, the price potentially could be a stumbling block. That's not really anything on Tchouameni's ability. That's just the market and the way it worked at the time. But listen, for me, just looking at Tchouameni and his game and his profile and the way in which when you do watch Tchouameni, he does look like a very good number 6. And at only 26 years of age, he's not even entering his prime years yet, or he's not even in his prime years yet, and he's still got a long career ahead of him. And I think he would be someone who's a perfect profile for Manchester United. Now, that doesn't mean United are going to go out and go bid for him, but I think he's someone United definitely have to look at as an option to bring into the team. Let me know your thoughts.